Kamil Munim has hit back at Khairy over claims that Aminuddin Harun had failed to safeguard the interests of the Malay-Muslim community in Negeri Sembilan. Meanwhile, a political analyst said that based on observations so far, BN could retain between 40 and 42 seats in the Johor state election. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's political secretary Kamil Munim has criticized Khairy Jamaluddin over his comments on Malay-Muslim interests in Negeri Sembilan. In a Facebook post, Kamil rejected Khairy's claim that caretaker Menteri Besar Aminuddin Harun had failed to protect the Malay-Muslim community. He argued that Malay rights are guaranteed by the federal constitution and the Malay rulers, not by voting for Umno. Kamil also challenged Khairy to identify which Malay rights had been weakened under Aminuddin's administration. He described Khairy's remarks as regressive, saying politics should focus on performance and governance rather than stoking racial and religious fears. Citing the 1MDB scandal, Kamil argued that the real threat is corruption, not ordinary Malays or the Negeri Sembilan government. He added that the Malay rights truly under threat are those of corrupt Malays, Malays who benefit from political patronage, and, of course, Umno Malays, not ordinary Malays or the Malays of Negeri Sembilan. Kamil was responding to Khairy's speech at the launch of the Seremban Umno Youth and Putri meeting yesterday. There, Khairy had urged Malay-Muslim voters to return their support to Barisan Nasional. He argued that only Umno BN could safeguard the community's interests. Khairy also claimed that Aminuddin was powerless and under DAP's control because the party holds the largest number of the Pakatan Harapan seats in the Negeri Sembilan State Assembly. BN chairperson Ahmad Zahid Hamidi has dismissed claims of a secret pact with PAS ahead of the Johor state election. He said this in response to a question about PAS instructing its members and supporters to vote for BN candidates in seats PN is not contesting in. Speaking in Tangkak, Johor, Zahid said BN appreciated PAS's support. However, he said that it will not have an impact on any new form of political alliance or cooperation between the two parties. He added that the real test would come when the votes are counted on July 11th. PAS has previously told its members and supporters to cast their votes for BN, including candidates from MCA and MIC in the 23 seats where PN is sitting out. PAS Deputy President Tuan Ibrahim Tuan had reportedly said that this is to prevent Harapan from winning, which could open the door for DAP to become part of the state government. In the current Johor state polls, BN is fielding 37 candidates from Umno, 15 from MCA and 4 from MIC. A planned program featuring Johor caretaker Menteri Besar on Hafiz Ghazi and Pakatan Harapan candidates Mazli Malik will go ahead with only one participant tomorrow. According to Bernama, On could not attend due to prior commitments. An aide to On said that the caretaker Menteri Besar was not scheduled to attend the program. Despite his absence, the event will proceed and Mazli will still be given airtime. The dialogue session is being organized by RTM, Asrawani and Sinaharian and is expected to draw around 200 participants. They will include representatives from government departments, agencies and Madani communities. Bernama reported that earlier, RTM, Asrawani and Sinaharian had extended official invitations to On and Mazli to participate in the Johor state election dialogue. The one-hour dialogue aims to provide both figures with a fair and balanced platform to present their vision, policies, priorities and solutions to issues of concern to the people of Johor. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. With the Johor state election just days away, new projections suggest Barisan Nasional will retain its position as the ruling Johor government. The forecast comes from Ibrahim Suffian, a programs director at the Merdeka Center. Speaking during a webinar today, Ibrahim projected BN could win between 40 and 42 of Johor's 56 seats. He also predicted Amanah and PKR possibly bagging 1 and 2 seats, respectively, and DAP potentially becoming the largest party in the opposition. According to Ibrahim, Umno's support among Malay voters has improved since the 2022 general election. He estimated the party's Malay vote share has risen from around 45% to between 55 and 60% statewide. Ibrahim said BN is expected to retain power, but the key question is the size of its majority. However, he noted that the support is not evenly spread, as well they are a more formidable force in the rural and east coast parts of the state. Harapan and Bersatu are stronger in west coast areas. Ibrahim also said that caretaker Menteri Besar on Hafiz Ghazi enjoys broadly positive approval ratings, although he cautioned that ratings do not always translate into votes. He added that PAS's decision to support BN's bid at the state polls would serve in the coalition's favor. However, he said it may have the opposite effect among non-Malay voters. With early voting set for tomorrow, attention will soon shift from predictions to results. The 250th U.S. Independence Day celebrations on July 4th have come and gone, and a purported plan for U.S. President Donald Trump to grant 250 pardons does not appear to have materialized. It was reported that only 11 people have been pardoned by Trump, and fugitive financier Low Taek Jo is not among them. The 11 who were pardoned on Friday ahead of the Independence Day celebrations are 2 convicted fraudsters and 9 charged with having violated the Federal Clean Air Act by disabling or otherwise modifying trucks' emissions controls. In a post on his Truth Social account earlier, Trump had claimed that 6 of the people had been persecuted by the previous administration for fixing their car. Previously, The Atlantic reported that the White House had been toying with the idea of 250 pardons for 250 years. Besides Low, another person reported on the list included celebrity Pras Michel. He was convicted of conspiring with Low and a Chinese government official to orchestrate a lobbying campaign aimed at halting U.S. criminal investigations into the 1MDB scandal after the funds had already been misappropriated. TikTok, X, and Telegram are being abused by criminals, turning them into channels for producing, distributing, and even selling child sexual abuse material, CSAM. Over a 9-month period from October 2025 to June 2026, Malaysia Kini monitored these 3 platforms and found that such content has evolved into a sophisticated underground business. How do these networks operate? Why are these illegal activities becoming increasingly rampant? Are social media and payment platforms aware that their services are being abused? After reporting these activities to the platforms including Apple, Google, Telegram, and WeChat, how did they respond? Click the link in the video description to read Malaysia Kini's full investigation and understand how this cross-platform crime operates, as well as how we can identify it, report it, and stop the harm from spreading. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Kimilia. Thanks for watching.